it's Kayla from Kayla Crochet Love, and welcome to episode 31. If you are new to my channel, it's nice to see you here, and if you are returning, of course, it's always lovely to see you here. And as usual, I will link down below where you can find me on the internet. So, it's been a couple weeks, I think. As usual, I am losing track of time. No surprise there. But I have a couple things I wanted to share with you guys. A couple finishes. Yeah. Couple finishes, and I have one active work in progress, I guess. So the first thing I finished is what I'm wearing. I feel really low to the ground today. Sorry, I'm boosting my chair up. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Sorry about that. Anyways, what I'm wearing, I'm very happy to have this done. It was super easy and a lot of fun. It just kind of calmed me down. So this is the Just Feel Better shawl by Kayla Ryan of Quirky Monday Crafts. So that's a picture of hers there. And it's a free pattern, and of course I'll link it down below where you can get it if you're interested. I had seen Hannah from Cozy Cottage Crochet making hers, and the idea behind why Kayla made this shawl, pretty much, like she said at the beginning of the pattern, for days you need a big hug, and for me, I've been going through, not so much, I'm doing good now, but I had a few weeks there where I was just in a really bad mood. I didn't feel myself. So I decided to print this pattern and start working on it. And it did help me get through those weeks. So it kept my hands busy, and it kept my mind busy but not overly busy. And it turned out huge. So I've never made a shawl this big. Most of mine are pretty small. Oh, I forgot I tied it underneath. So I won't even be able to show you the whole thing because it's big. I posted pictures on my Instagram, and the only way I could get the full thing in one picture was to lay it out on my bed, which is a queen size bed. I tried to do it with my arms out and everything, and I just couldn't do it because it is longer than my wingspan. So this is my wingspan, and there's a little bit still over here. Sorry if you can't hear me right. And there's a little bit over here. And then it just keeps going down. So it is huge. But I love it. Like I said, I've never made a shawl this big, and it's one that I can actually wrap around myself if I want, which when I finished it, I hadn't even woven in the ends, and I was just wearing it around like this. And it doesn't go extremely long on my arms, which is what I like, but just to curl up on the couch with it, it was so comforting. So yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this already because I couldn't wait to show you guys. I don't even know what else to say. I really thoroughly enjoyed making this, so I highly recommend it. She also has it's a wrap as well. It's her Just Feel Festive, which it's still made with like the granny stitch, so like this, but it's constructed differently. So instead of a triangle, it's like a, I don't exactly know what you'd call it. It kind of leans. But check that out too. Like I said, I'll link to this one, and you'll be able to find her other patterns that way too. So yeah, I'm very happy it's done. I wore it to my knitting class today, and I got some compliments on it, so very happy it's done. I think I'm just gonna wrap it around my shoulders because The yarn I used, so it's made with the, she made hers with the fingering weight yarn, so that's what I used. I think technically this is actually a sport weight because it's a number 2. So it's 75% washable wool and 25% nylon. It's the Loops and Threads washable wool blurred lines, and this color is Garden Party. So there's the label. I got this one on clearance, and I used 3 balls. I had this much left, so just a little bit left. So there's 390 yards per ball, so quite a bit of yardage. But yeah, that's what I used for this. I was going to use a different yarn, but I didn't have enough. So when I was at Michael's, I saw this on clearance, so I just picked up a few and started my shawl. So yeah, that's it for that one. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about this pattern. The next thing I actually made 2, but I only have one because I gave one to my mom today. I made it for my mom. Sorry, it's dry down here. Have a little bit of water. Is this. So it's going to be hard to see, and I'm putting it on here because I'll just be fighting with my hair the rest of the episode. It's hard to see because of the crazy colors. This is actually yarn that I dyed a few months ago with Kool-Aid, and I finally found something I wanted to make with it, and you can definitely see the cables better in person. Don't mind my freaky styrofoam head here. But just a simple cable headband. That. So the actual yarn I think is Patton's Classic Wool, but like I said, I dyed it. So, and I still have some left. I have a little bit left. Wouldn't have enough for another headband like this, but so I like it. The one thing is the join at the back is a little bit sloppy, but it's not even that bad. So a lot of people I think put buttons there, which I might do, but you can definitely see the cables more now. And I really like it. See, I made a blue one. I have the yarn here, I'll show you. For my mom's, I used Lion Brand Heartland, which I'd never used this yarn before, and I really like it. It's kind of like Karen Simply Soft, like it's that kind of softness, but I found it didn't split as much. But, so this one's 100% acrylic, and there's 251 yards. And this color is Glacier Bay. So really pretty. I'll try and put in a picture of this one because you can really see the cabling in this colored one. And I will probably make more of these. So the pattern, I had to write it down because I didn't print the pattern because my printer's not working. It's the Cable Ear Warmer by Jenny Cadavu. And it's a free pattern on her blog, I believe, but I went to Ravelry and it linked to her blog, so I'll share the Ravelry page that I went to and you can check it out there. And she also has a video tutorial because she had mentioned that on the one row people were getting confused. I was one of those people. So the video did help. But after I watched it I was like, duh. So, very simple. And worked up pretty quickly for something with cables, now that I'm comfortable making cables. But honestly, if you're a beginner and you've never done cables before, this is probably something good to start with. Although in the round's really easy too, because this one's done flat. But definitely recommend this pattern too. I've made the 2 and I'll probably make more, I'm guessing, because I have a lot of simple, like, one color yarns that I think would look really good in a headband, and I can stock up and give those as gifts and stuff. I might make some with buttons, but this one I made for myself because I've been wanting to use this yarn. I just didn't know what to make with it, so I made this. And that's it for finished objects. I only have those ones. I keep thinking there's something else, but there's not. For works in progress, like I mentioned, I'm taking a sweater knitting class with my mom at our local yarn store. And it's a workshop by Deb Gemmell. Love her. I've mentioned her before. And it's, what I really like about this class is you're not following a pattern necessarily. Like, there is rows, but she's teaching you how to construct a sweater for certain sizes, and it's made in panels. So it's not in the round, which I didn't know if I'd like it, but it's a really good workshop to take to learn new techniques. Like, I learned how to do an I-cord edge. I learned how to pick up stitches, how to cast on and then pick up more stitches. So these are examples of some of the sweaters. So the one I'm making will look similar to this one. And you can make them any size. She has measurements in here as a guideline. But it's really neat. Like, I can't explain too much because honestly I'm still learning. So I think I might have shown you part of the back last time, and now it's gonna look funny. I have this. So today, my class was today, we had to pick up along here, cast on here, and then pick up along here. Which sounds really complicated, but when she explained it, because I'm not good with the knitting thing. I know how to knit in a circle, and I know how to knit back and forth like a square. Even then, I struggle. So, yeah, I was not sure how this was going to turn out. So I'm making one for my baby nephew, who is a 1.5 years. So, if I turn it this way, again, it's going to be hard to see because of how it is. So technically, so this is the back, and this is one front panel. You can see the buttonholes, which I'd never done before. I learned how to do buttonholes, so you can see them here. So if you fold it like this, it's hard because of the cable. This will be the front, and what I'm working on today is actually the side of the sweater. So this is going to be like the side of the body here. It's really interesting how she set this up, and it's a really good learning curve for me. And there's some mistakes. You can see there's mistakes. Do I care? Not really, because I know my nephew won't care. And it's my first knit sweater, and I think it's turning out alright so far. My stitches are pretty good. There's a few little spots where you can see that I kind of messed up, but you can see the I-cord edge here, so that's really cool. And yeah, I know it doesn't look like much, it just looks like a bit of a mess, because right now I'm knitting it this way, so I'm just going back and forth. And then the sleeve is knit flat as well, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I have 2 weeks left of that. My mom is making one for my older nephew, and they're the same color. The yarn I'm using, I talked about last time, is Karen Simply Soft. This color is Country Blue. So this is 100% acrylic, 315 yards. I haven't even used a full skein yet, so my mom caked up some. It's kind of a mess, but I've only used maybe half a skein, if that. Yeah, probably about half so far. And I have 2 more balls. And like I said in my last video, I'm not a huge fan of the Karen Simply Soft because it splits like crazy. At least this one is. I think I've only ever used Karen Simply Soft once in the past. Once or twice. I don't remember what I thought of it back then. But it might just be with knitting too though. And the needles I use are really sharp. They're the Chia Goose. Oh. I have a little thing showing up on my camera. So they're the Chia Goose. So they're really pointy. Oops. Hang on, I'm just gonna stop for a second and check my camera. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go delete some stuff on my camera because I was running out of room. You know, I haven't actually deleted any videos on this camera since I started recording podcasts, so that's pretty impressive. And I have stuff from before that, so... Anyways, I was talking about this yarn. Not a huge fan. I think it might be just with knitting because my knitting needles are sharper needles because they're the Chia Goo ones and they are relatively sharp. Like they don't hurt you, but when it comes to yarn, I think it does split it a little bit more. So I'm just being a little bit more careful than I normally would. But I know people have said before that the Karen Simply Soft does kind of split, so yeah. That's it for works in progress that I'm actively working on. I still have my Vanya cowl, which I might work on today. I'd like to get that done too. And I have my Bonjour High cowl. I think I actually have it right here. I haven't done anything on it in over a month. And I have them on a spare set of needles right now because I needed the needles. I'm thinking I might just finish it off somehow and leave it. I don't know. I'm not loving working on it at all. So I might even frog it. I know it's a lot of work that I've put into it, but thinking about working on this is making me anxious and I don't want that. Because one of my resolutions was to only work on projects that I really enjoy doing. And this one I'm not. There's a lot of little holes that I've made. My one concern is frogging mohair, I hear, is no fun. So, we'll see. I might try frogging it and see. If not, then I'll do something. But I was really excited about this project, but I'm just not anymore. It's boring. And it's nothing with the pattern. I think if I was a faster knitter, I would like that a lot more. I'm relatively slow knitter, so I think it's frustrating for me because I can usually get another cowl done in crochet pretty fast, depending on the yarn and whatnot, but that's taking me forever. And I'm not even done the increases yet. So, I don't know. I'm going to think about that. I'm not even going to worry about it right now. So the only active whip I have is my Vanya cowl, and I have to finish the heel on my socks, which those are on timeout too. Just because. I got really tired of knitting, except for my sweater. That one's different. It's thicker yarn. So I'm enjoying it. Oh, I didn't put that back in. Oh well. So next, I will just talk real quick about some things that I have purchased, and that'll be it. So, and I haven't gotten much. So first I want to show you guys this. Sorry for the noise. I had looked at this book a couple weeks ago at my local yarn store, and I was really interested in getting it. I don't have many crochet like stitch dictionaries at home. I have one that's really old, like I don't even know what year that was made. 1970 something. I know that's not that old, but the reason I say it's really old is because it's worn out. So I have another one, but there wasn't the kind of stitches I wanted in it, so I found this one at my local yarn store. Just step-by-step guide to 200 crochet stitches. So I saved up a little bit of money and I bought it. It wasn't that expensive anyways, but I can't stop looking at this book because there are things that I've never really seen before, and I really like how they explain what some stitches work for, like how lacier stitches, like a double crochet with a chain one space and then double crochet, is good for like wearables like a shawl and stuff like that. So I really like that, and they show charts and they have all the information on the back about how to read a chart, and they have all the abbreviations and whatnot. They have picture instructions. So I highly recommend this book. I'm not sure if you can get it on Amazon or not. It even talks about different yarns in here. So I don't know if you can I think you can probably get it on Amazon. Yeah, I'll check, and if you can, I'll link it down below. But it's 200 Crochet Stitches by Tracy Todhunter. I think that's who it's by down there. So yeah, I really like it. I like just looking at it. But the reason I wanted to get this was when I go to like design a shawl or a cowl or something, I want to know the exact multiples of stitches and whatnot, because when I crochet, half the time I just go. Like, I don't pay attention, but I want to start writing stuff down more, so I thought this would be a good purchase, and I really like it so far. So the only other thing I bought some yarn, which I know I'm on like a yarn diet and not supposed to buy more yarn, but this one was even my mom thought I should get this one. So I follow a local yarn store on Instagram who's about an hour away from me, and she had posted that she brought in these yarns. They're by Ancient Art Yarns, which is based out of, I want to say Alberta. I'm not sure. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. If I can find them online, I'll link them down below too. And they created colorways based on certain dog breeds. So she had, she had Chocolate Lab, Border Collie, and Australian Shepherd. When she had posted these, I automatically thought of my first dog, Wally. He was a Border Collie Australian Shepherd cross, but he looked a lot more like an Australian Shepherd. So I really wanted to get the Australian Shepherd one. So my mom and I drove down. We pretty much drove down specifically for me to get this yarn. And so this is the color. And it's like pretty much bang on like I said, Wally was our first family dog. He passed away a couple of years ago. He was 15 when we had to put him down, and he was an amazing dog. So I had to buy it to make. I'm thinking about making like a memorial shawl or something. So also it says a portion of the proceeds from this yarn will be donated by Ancient Arts to charities benefiting stray and abandoned dogs. So that really touched my heart too. And there is a website down here, and it'll link you to this exact collection apparently, so I'll put that down below. So yeah, I decided to just go for the Australian Shepherd one because although Wally was also half Border Collie, the only part of him that kind of looked Border Collie was his facial features, but he definitely the colors of an Australian Shepherd. So I bought 2, and I'm going to make something with these. And these aren't normally colors that I would buy, but of course because of Wally I had to. So it's a fingering weight yarn. It's 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and there's 385 yards. So I haven't decided quite yet what I want to make with them, but I will think of something. I'm thinking like a little shawl or a scarf or something just to have as like an accessory. So yeah, very happy with those. So they're gonna just kind of sit and I'll think about it a little bit more. But other than that, I have nothing else. I've been pretty good with not buying yarns. I was actually telling my husband when I went to get my book, I went and bought that yesterday. She had some yarns on sale for a really good price, and I didn't even buy them. Even though there were some, I was like, ooh, maybe I'll get that. I knew I didn't need to, and I'm thankful I didn't, because when I came home yesterday, I ended up coming down in my craft room and cleaning up. There's a lot of yarns in here that I forgot I had, and I'm looking over here because most of my really colorful and like luxury yarns, I say luxury because they're like hand dyed, are right here. And I have some in totes, and I have some in a little cupboard across the room, so I really don't need any more. Unless it's for a specific project, which that way then I'm allowed to buy some. But that Ancient Arts yarn was an exception because it almost made me cry when I saw it, because it made me think of Wally, and he was a really good dog. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for today. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys!